sadly, I don't want to make this a color thing, could be black or white, but it is what it is. Black people don't know how to maintain things, especially in Africa. In Zimbabwe, the challenge is you can be popular, but you might not have a livelihood. People might know you, but you might not be able to have a decent meal.
Something like that can happen to famous people. What about a regular person? We were talking about maintenance.
Yes.
And I feel like you have a lot to say concerning that.
You know, we are not only talking about infrastructure that we were left with by the colonialism, you know, by colonial, our colonial masters, so to speak. It also goes down to even our culture as African people. Mm-hmm. You look at issues that have to do with inheritance.
It's bad, bro.
It's bad, Baba. You know, you look at other cultures. You look at... Let's
be bare.
Yes.
Let's look at white people, to be exact.
Yes.
How they do their things.
Yes. You look at other cultures. White people, Indians, the Jews, they have...
The Chinese, the Japanese.
They have a system of inheritance where one generation builds something and gives it to the next generation, and they maintain it and they go with it. I have seen people mdara in this life where the parents leave everything. Yeah. Houses, properties, cars, and you visit that person maybe after 2, 3, 5 years. Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to.
They only have the clothes that they are wearing.
But why?
I also think, all right, my own examination is that I think most of the time African parents build their wealth in the absence of their children.
Yes.
They don't build with their children.
Exactly.
They build, look at Indians. Primary.
Yeah.
But still after school. Anaenda kushop.
Yeah.
Unogara kushop, unoswera kushop, achiona zvikuitika kushop. Inini maybe because also tajaira system yekuti ndikaenda kuchikoro, I go and find a job. I can't bring my children. That's also one of the challenges. But mazwano, like speaking in Zimbabwe about Zimbabweans akachangamuka. You find kuti vamwano, they will go to work and they have a hustle by the side. But still, they don't build with their children so that they know, all right, we get this from there, we sell it this much, we get a profit for this much, and we pay rent to this and what, they don't know the nitty-gritties of how wealth is built.
And besides parents leaving inheritance to kids and then kids failing to maintain that inheritance, I feel like Africans in general, especially this generation, they are not leaving anything for their kids.
They are not.
For example, us, bro, we are building wealth from scratch.
Yes.
And it's not really good, bro. It's not a good picture.
It's not. White people, do you know there are some cultures, the way they have a custom where if the male child gets married, they give him a stand. No, not a stand. A house. Yeah. They give him a car. Yeah. And also money on top. So how can I, starting from scratch, compete with someone who's starting? That's why we are always at the bottom. Black people, we're always at the bottom.
Another thing, you see, we're talking about white people. Actually, after the wedding, they're given those things. But here in Africa, if you do a white wedding, you are left with nothing most of the time. After the wedding, a big one. I mean, we are taking a culture that after the wedding, they're rich. Us, after that wedding that we adapted from the white people, after the wedding, we are in debt. It's really bad, bro.
It's crazy, Baba. It's crazy.
And it's dangerous.
But we also can't blame African people. We have our own form of inheritance.
What?
Zvikwambo. Zvikwambo, zvikwereti. Ngozi. That's the inheritance. So I think it's a conversation that we continuously need to have amongst ourselves as Africans, where we ask ourselves, where are we going as a people? Because life becomes easier for us or the next generation if they are able to inherit something and they are taught how to maintain it.
Exactly.
They are taught how to maintain it.
I feel like kids here in Africa, even young people, are not even taught about maintenance.
Yes.
Because there is nothing to maintain.
Yes.
I mean, you're starting things from scratch.
Yes.
I feel like almost 80% of people here in Africa, they did not inherit anything, or they are not going to inherit anything.
Yes, you said something powerful, Baba. Yeesh, you said, and I was so interested in this generational wealth thing. I started studying other cultures, especially the Jews. Maybe because also I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
So I was focused on the Jews. Those people, they understand the generations. There is a generation that builds, and maybe first generation, the father maybe is a shoemaker.
Yes.
And he establishes a business. And in Jewish culture, mind you, they say that if you don't teach your child how to make a living, you have taught them to be a thief. It's actually a sin not to teach your child a livelihood, how to make a livelihood. So the father, the first generation, might build a cobbler business where they are making shoes, repairing shoes, but also the child is involved as they are building the business, so that he knows where the money is coming from. Where how are we able to have this lifestyle? It's because of this business. It's because of how we are doing this.
Exactly.
Yes.
Look at Joseph. He was a what?
Carpenter.
Jesus was what?
Carpenter.
But look at here in Zimbabwe. If your father is a police officer, you are a wing.
You're fighting against each other.
Even if your kid, let's say your father is a police officer, your kid, if that kid goes to school and they ask him, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or who is your role model? They won't even mention their fathers.
So the Jews make it their life, the fathers make it their life to teach their children what they know.
Imagine. I feel like they do it in a way where they say, what is your surname?
Mudanda.
If someone comes to your village and say, I'm looking for Mr. Mudanda,
yes,
people basically will understand, that family that make shoes.
Yes.
You are known for that.
Yes.
Like your family line, they are known for that.
Yes.
And it becomes, if something is taught throughout the generation, it becomes
a family
easier.
Thing.
A family thing, and it becomes very, very easier. But
we don't have that.
We don't
have that. So as the child is involved in building this business, he then understands why he needs to keep the business. That's where the food is coming from. That's where the school fees is coming from. That's where that is coming from. So he respects the business. So when the father dies, he leaves it to the child.
I was in Zambia and I visited this white farmer. He's one of those his father was one of those farmers who were chased away from Zimbabwe during that time when land was being taken from them.
Yes.
So the father went to Zambia and then the kid grew up around the farm and the father said, I am going to give you this, you see, and you start there.
Yes.
Bro, when he was speaking about his father, he was really proud and he was portraying that face of saying, I want to make my father
proud.
Imagine, bro. The father is still alive and he's doing his thing.
But he's also doing his thing.
He's doing his thing and he's also going to his father and say, I'm at this stage. What advice can you give to me? But fathers of today, I don't think they sit down with their children and say, this is how you should take care of your wife.
Yes.
I made these mistakes.
1, 2, 3, don't do this, do that.
Because at the end of the day, let's look at a bigger picture. Today, a man is supposed to have one wife.
Yes.
And our fathers, maybe their fathers also, that there are certain mistakes that they made because of women.
Yes.
At the end of the day, the biggest temptation of a man is a woman. Why is it that our fathers or our sekurus, they don't sit down with us today and say, my son, be careful. Yes, be careful. But I feel like also our generation, we don't listen to it. I don't know what to say anymore.
It's a two-sided problem where fathers are not being involved in their children's lives, and the children are big-headed and not willing to say, no, this is my elder.
And it's a dangerous game.
He knows better, or he might not know better, but his experience can help me.
Yes.
So
experience is the best teacher, bro.
So I was saying, Kuti, now what they now do, the child inherits the cobbler business, the shoemaking business, but then as he runs the business, he expands it, and maybe starts an accounting firm that manages the accounts of this business.
Amazing.
And the accounting firm also looks for other businesses to provide its services. So now there are two businesses that he has built. And when he leaves it off to the third generation, the third generation maintains it and builds another business that complements these businesses. So we never have that, Mdara. Do you know, Kuti, I was shocked when I was looking at the most powerful families in America are Jews.
Oh.
They are the most powerful families in America. And I discovered that, do you know the Hyatt Regency? The hotel, the Miko's.
Miko's.
The Miko's. The owners, maybe this one is a franchise, I don't know what's the arrangement, but it's a hotel brand.
Is it not like the new ownership now?
No, like I think, I'm not sure what happened between Miko's and the Hyatt, but the Hyatt Regency, the brand. Because it's an international brand. It's owned by a Jewish family.
No way, bro.
I'm telling you, I was shocked because it's all over the world. It's in South Africa, it's all over.
Because we knew Miko's. Yes. Like Miko's, it was like that place.
Maybe the ownership changed. I'm not so sure.
I feel like it.
I think it must have changed. But the point is, it's a family thing. And if you trace the owners, these are grandchildren that are running, that have a controlling stake of this brand.
Do you know another thing? You said it's a family thing.
Yes.
Like these guys, they work with family. They don't bring a stranger to run their business.
No.
And then here in Africa, do you know the message that I am preaching? Telling diasporians, don't work with the relatives. Why? We have no option because relatives here, they're not good to work with.
Yes.
They chew your money, bro. They left, right, and center. You send them 1,000, and then you ask them, where is that 1,000? They act as if they don't have a brain. They'll just be looking at you. Huh? So, I mean, what is wrong with us? Like me, a content creator, I've seen that diasporians, they're being scammed.
Yeah.
So, what are those people that are scamming diasporians? Relatives. Own families. And yet we are talking about family being your trusted person to work with in business if you want the business to go bigger.
Maybe it's our values, because as you look at it, our families are not as strong as they used to be.
I feel
our
like
values as family.
They are not.
They're not as strong as...
They are no longer... I mean, we say Ubuntu. Bro, I'm telling you today, in today's world, especially now in Zimbabwe, parents are now restricting their kids not to play with neighbors. Kids are now spending their days in Juraos.
By themselves.
Back then, it takes the whole village
to raise a child. Our values have changed. Even you read the newspaper and you are shocked with the stories that, fathers raping their children.
Exactly. It was a taboo, bro.
Young women going... loving madalas.
Hey, you know what?
Sugar, man. It's a...
You know what? I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and he said, Birioti, do you know that HIV AIDS of today is different from HIV AIDS of 2006, 8, that kind of stuff. Back then, it was really dangerous. I mean, it won't even take time for someone.
It would die at the end.
So he was saying, women of today, especially the young women, they are not scared. They don't even ask you if...
They don't.
What is your status?
They don't.
Even men, young people.
Our values are... maybe it's the economy. I don't know. Maybe it's the economy, but the family values...
I don't think it's economy, bro. Someone was saying we don't have to blame economy. We have countries like Pakistan or Iraq where the economy is down there. And that you never see people doing that kind of behavior.
Tarashika baba. Rashika jaja. I don't know where we are going as a people, to be honest. I saw the Victoria Falls trip. You relaxed, eh?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was so relaxed and I was not thinking about business in general. And a lot of people were angry. There's a certain part of the video that I showed. Did you watch the video?
I haven't.
You should watch.
Yeah.
And like when I was shitless, and then my wife was on the counter,
Yeah.
so it was really like.
So all right. So what were people complaining about?
So now they were saying like now you are doing that kind of content. So you see, like I feel like it's because the kind of people that are watching my video are a little bit like I would say grown up. They're grown ups.
All right.
Like we're talking about maybe starting from 30 years and going above. Those are the kind of people that watch my content. So them watching that.
But most of you people are diasporians. Diasporians,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
They should. You know, I really can't comment because I don't know the context of
Yeah.
where the setup of where you
Exactly.
were. But you know,
Yeah, I was enjoying Nara. Honestly, I was enjoying, and it was a great time. And guys, for those who are going to Victoria Falls, just make sure that you stay at a place where I was staying, and it's called the Platinum Peak Apartments. It was a great place. And now I'm back. And now I made a video recently where I posted that I'm no longer posting farming content, and the internet went crazy.
people I used to Kelvin the you know
The farmer.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but when I look at it, I see you as a brand that's evolving.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? And people don't understand.
They don't.
That as a YouTuber you need to expand and grow, and you
Exactly.
can't grow if you keep to you know to
In a
limit.
box.
Yeah, you have to get.
I mean, if you were to look at big content creators like Wodemai, they still do post farming content, but it's not like 10 videos only farming.
Yes.
You see?
Yeah, it becomes monotonous. It becomes boring. But
Take it
but
very
I think they will understand. And
Yeah, in the long run, they will
will
understand. Like, I have to be everywhere. I have to be doing real estate also. I have to be doing, like, competitive videos also. Because at the end of the day, I'm a content creator and I need to be everywhere. There is need for me to be creative, and I need to reach 1 million subscribers in the long run. And
it's possible, very possible.
very possible if I start being creative.
No, before we go on, I'm just thinking, what's one thing that you learned about traveling when you were at Vic Force?
Exposure. Exposure. Because at the end of the day, like, people from afar, they look at Victoria Falls as an expensive place to be, and they avoid going there. But I'm telling you that once in your lifetime, just maybe once a year, save money and go there. And I'm telling you, the people that you meet there, what you learn there, the exposure, you come back with a different mindset. Yeah, I'm telling you, like, for example, there is this restaurant that I went with my wife, and there were only white people there. You see? And the first thing that came into our mind was like, we are in the wrong place, bro.
It happened to me. I understand. It also happened to me at some point. We are not comfortable being around white people. So when you get into a space where there are white people, you feel like it's awkward. But it's just lack of exposure. You know, it's something really important that you said, this word of exposure.
Yeah.
Why do you think exposure is very important?
It's important because at the end of the day, if you see yourself as the only black people around white people and then you are scared.
Yeah.
Because I used to have that mindset. But I feel like over time it changed. That is why you even see, like, I've interviewed like a lot of white farmers on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I feel like in Africa, if we are to look at content creators that have interviewed white farmers, I'm one of those people. I used to be scared to be around white people. The reason being that I grew up per farm. And I used to look at a white farmer as someone who is my father's boss.
Yeah. Boss.
Like boss. Like this scary guy. Like, I'm scared of my father, but my father is scared of what? So now with that mentality, I grew up with that mentality, bro. But along the way, meeting white people, interacting with them, loving my content, them actually saying, we love your content.
Well done, yeah.
I went to Zambia and I met a good friend of mine who is a white farmer there. I was really excited when he was speaking about my content and how he loved it. So exposure is really powerful. And it can change your perspective towards something. And I don't think that a lot of people look at it that way. They don't want to experience new things. people are afraid of things they don't understand.
But
You know what? Like even when I was buying tickets for our flight to Victoria Falls, like the whole process was new to us, and my wife was like, so let's just that kind of stuff. Like you could see that there is some kind of fear of trying
new things.
Yeah, like she's trying to avoid new things.
But
after now, she's the one who's excited. So I feel like we should push ourselves to that level. We are no longer afraid to do new things. True, I feel like that's the only way.
True.
That's the only way.
There's someone who told me something interesting.
Yeah.
Some of the times exposure is free. For instance, you can go. I had adopted this thing where I go into a hotel.
Yes.
Hotel bar, and the people that you meet, they are not, you know, big people who are doing things. Go there, I buy my orange juice. You know what, $1, glass of $1.
Exactly.
You know, orange juice for a glass of $1. Someone might be saying, orange juice is, but you know, it's worth it. You know, when I say orange juice, I mean mazo. And orange juice is different from mazoe. So you buy a glass of mazoe, which is $1. If now it's juice, it's $3 for a glass, for a water glass like this. So, and you sit there, you take a sip slowly. You're exposing yourself into different environments.
Even
and
new
different
people who come there.
Yes, and different people.
You know, I grew up in Chinhoyi, and I used to live close to Chinhoyi Caves Motel. It was a motel.
Yeah.
So I would usually go there, watch football. Big people used to come there, like big people.
Yes.
I mean, the bartender was now my friend. He would tell me that today, this person who is this big is coming.
Yes.
Like the biggest farmer in Mashonaland West is coming here today. So I would sit there. There was a man, I'll never forget this man. He was having a conversation with other big person also. This person, big people conversations.
Yeah,
and I would
big boy.
be there sitting over there using my phone, overhearing what they're saying.
Yeah.
I reached a point where I was now in the conversation. Like you could see that.
You joined?
Yeah. Because they were asking me, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I'm using Wi-Fi here.
Yes.
Like besides you doing this, what other things are you doing? I'm still at school.
Yeah.
They went on to tell me, young man, an honest man will never go to bed hungry. Just make sure that as you are growing up, do everything right and be honest.
Yes.
As a man, have values. The words that really stuck with me is an honest man will never go to bed hungry.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's the truth. It's the truth. Since then, I've tried to implement that, and I've seen it working. Like God will always find a way to make things work for you. So it's important. Exposure is important, especially when you... I saw a post today that was talking about the healthcare system in Zimbabwe.
Yes.
And not only in Zimbabwe, Africa in general.
Yes.
Someone actually wrote and said, who's this guy? Makamba or something like that, who died during COVID.
Yes.
Do you remember him?
The presenter.
Yeah.
The son of James Makamba, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So people are actually saying this guy was well connected, but the healthcare system failed him.
Was poor.
Yeah. And then they gave a good example of also Gerima Panzuri.
Yes.
Gary.
Yes, Gerima Panzuri.
They said that the healthcare system... We're talking about famous people here.
Yes.
The healthcare system failed him also. They talked about this guy who recently passed away,
Pinges. Yes, yeah. Ish, that was tragic.
Painees, bro.
So that was tragic.
So they were saying that if something like that can happen to famous people, what about a regular person in Zimbabwe who don't have that exposure? When something happens to them, it's all over internet. And make sure to subscribe. And make sure to subscribe to Tinashe's YouTube channel. It's called what?
Tinashe Simudanda.
Guys, make sure to subscribe to his YouTube channel. For now, it's goodbye.